Well, long before she ever became a senator, people used to call her Mora Vaughan Milshawn, Mary White of the Sweets, because 21 years ago she and a pal set up their own chocolate company. Now it's a multi-million-pound export business called Lear Chocolate. But is Mary White all sweetness and light? Let's find out. Mary White, you're very welcome. So you want to be the next president? Yeah. Are you mad or what?
No, I know I would be good. And all the activities I've taken on in my life, Ursula, I have inspired people and motivated people, and I have made changes in every activity I've ever been involved in my life, changes for the better.
Right. And how do you think you might be different from the other two Marys?
Well, each Mary had her own agenda. President Mary Robinson, she really changed the whole aspect of Irish women. Irish women went on the radar as soon as Mary Robinson became president. And President McAleese, herself and Martin, carved out, their names would be carved out in stone for the tremendous work that they did on the peace process in the North.
So how will you be different?
Well, Ireland is a different country today. We have the Celtic Tiger. People have a higher standard of living, the better education. But the downside of that, I do believe we have changed our nature, our friendliness, our courtesy, our charm that we're world-renowned for. I would like to reach out and change overall culturally the feeling in the country, that we get back to our charm, looking out for other people.
To be courteous, to be
caring, to reach out to those that are weakest in society. For instance, I am a spokesperson in the Senate on children and older people. And I took up those issues when I went to the Senate 5 years ago, first of all, purely instinctively as a woman. It's extraordinary, Una, that I did that.
Our slave. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll be coming to your time in the Senate later on.
Yeah,
but you also said that you thought that Ireland had become too materialistic.
Yeah.
What did you mean?
What I mean by that is that people are judged in society by the material. Have they made millions and millions? When I started Lear Chocolates with Connie Doody, it was never on my mind to make money. I did that to create employment, because we had 18% employment in the country at the time, and in some areas we had 40%.
So your sole motive in setting up the company was to create jobs?
Never thought of making money. When I went for the Senate...
That's what you're saying?
Yes. It was about creating employment. Totally about creating employment. In the area, I joined...
But you ended up making a lot of money out of it, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we didn't pay ourselves for ages,
But didn't you just have a company before this?
Yeah, well, I'm still an executive director, and the money is exaggerated, as you can imagine, Ursula. But
it was reported that you got something like 4.3 million.
I didn't. For goodness sake, not.
So that's way over it.
But I joined a community unemployment group in Dundrum, where we live, because of all the unemployment. It was purely to create employment. And the thrill of seeing people taking up jobs in our company, Lear Chocolates, in an economic deprived area of this city, and to see them change over a period of a few months, Ursula. When a person who was unemployed came into us for a job, their head would be down, they'd be shy, afraid to have a chat, talk. And to see them, when they could do the job over a period of about 3 months, standing up straight, talking, socialising, talking to people, getting new clothes. The thrill of that is what gave me my pleasure. It wasn't about money. When I went for the Senate in 2002, Ursula, I didn't know that I got paid. I didn't even think that I got paid. And that I accidentally found out. So I'm not
you're not big into money, or...
No, absolutely not.
All right.
No.
Okay. What sort of car do you drive?
A Mercedes, but that's...
A Mercedes?
Yeah.
What year?
We're 2006.
2006?
Yeah.
That's a nice, plushy car to drive, and you're not into...
Well, I actually have my car for road safety, because I had a tricky enough accident 33 years ago, and I bought that for safety.
And the Mercedes is good and safe?
I feel very safe in it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So there's no apologies for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my husband and I, Porrick and I, we lead a very modest life.
How do you mean?
Well, we're not into jet setting or big parties or...
Do you have a big house somewhere?
No, we don't have a big house. No, we don't. Where do you live? We live in Dundrum, but we have a modest place in Dundrum, and we love it there. At the foot of the mountains, we love it.
How did you meet your husband? Because Porrick White, this is the Porrick White who used to be the big boss in the IDA, isn't that right?
That's right. Well, I got a scholarship to Bolton Street off my leaving cert in 1962. And at that time, 20 people were picked for that. And one of the people in my class was a girl called Sheila White. And one day we were walking on the street in 1963, and this guy stopped us just outside the Savoy. And she chatted to him, and we walked on, and I said, "Who's that fella?" And she said, "That's my brother." My God.
So I would love it personally.
I would love to have had an older brother, Ursula. So,
is he supportive anyway of your political career?
My husband is 100% behind me. He believes in me. Totally and utterly believes in me. Where I also believe in him. And I supported him when he was doing his job in the IDA. And that's why I got involved. He was trying to develop indigenous industry and bring in multinationals. I travelled with Porrick to Asia and the United States with Albert Reynolds and with John Bruton when they were ministers for industry, bringing in industry. So I have a very broad understanding of how employment is for the country.
Wasn't there some funny incident in 2004 when Porrick White, was appearing before I think it was the Oireachtas Transport Committee?
Oh yeah, that was good.
And you were there as well, and you insisted on sitting directly opposite him, and you were making all sorts of funny signs to him. And
the reality was, actually, what I did was, I got a glass of water from Porrick and put it in front of his place where he was sitting, and
is that all it was?
That was the fact. And what people they'd never had before, a husband and wife, the wife being on the political side.
You insisted on sitting directly opposite him, and several members complained about your behaviour afterwards, and the Oireachtas chairman had to talk to you.
That was exaggerated, because they actually thought that I was
reported in the Irish
Times. I know, but actually, what the people at the committee thought, because I wasn't a member of that committee, that I shouldn't have been able to attend. But of course, as a
you were entitled.
They didn't know, you see, that I was entitled.
You didn't know.
They didn't know, but I knew. Of course, I didn't go until I knew I was entitled.
But let's have a quick look at it, because we dug it up, and there's a few seconds. Look, let's just take a quick look at it. We hear Porrick White talking initially. This is your.
We are now working with the department in analysing options for an acceleration